Hello. It's been a long, long time to talk to each and every one of my subscribers. This is Wendy Talley of Thelese Consulting Group and Black Speakers Rock. Let me see your shirt. See? Black Speakers Rock. Okay. Anywho, I just wanted to let you all know it's been a long time and I'm so glad to talk to each and every one of you. But this morning was so powerful. I just had to put this on YouTube so that everybody can have it. And it's a controversial topic. So, I know I'm going to get some feedback on this, and that's great. I have no problem of doing really talking to people about what they agree with and what they don't agree with. I think that creates really healthy dialogue. But today, right now, I'm going to do a short video on an amazing topic that many people are talking about privately, but we need to just open up the doors and talk about it publicly. And it is, don't bring your ex to bed with your spouse. Okay? I know you're like, well, Wendy, we know not to bring our ex to bed with our spouse. But not necessarily. Some of us actually do bring our exes to bed with us. And ex could mean a number of different things. They could basically mean a person. We all know that's usually associated. The word ex is usually related to something that has passed on, like a boyfriend or girlfriend, okay? Husband or wife. All right? But it could be a number of different things. It could be past hurts from childhood, a death in the family, something traumatic happened to you in your life, or just extra baggage, extra luggage that you're carrying around, that you're hoarding in your life, and it's really hurting and penetrating your relationship that you're currently in right now. So I'm going to talk to you about some tips that you need to be aware of and some tools that you can do to be able to, cut out the exes in the bedroom. And what can we do to ensure that we maintain a healthy life? So I'm going to be referring to my notes here. And so the whole objective of this video is, for one, you to be able to identify vulnerable areas in your relationship where an outside entity can penetrate your marriage or your relationship. We want to be able to be aware of those kind of things when we're done with that, when we're done with this particular video. The other thing I want us to be able to do is identify areas of unresolved issues you have brought into the relationship. What are those things? Because there are things we have not closed doors to. We still have them open wounds. And so we want to be able to address those kind of things, identify them, and move them on. And lastly, identify tools to strengthen yourself, and heal from the past hurts, so that your intimacy can be greater and fuller and more exciting, right? And not just intimacy in a bedroom, but intimacy as far as communication in all areas and all relationships of your life, okay? So the first thing is this, I just kind of want to share my own personal story with bringing my own ex to the bed with my own relationship. And this is how it all came up for me. I was in a relationship with a previous person who I loved so dearly. At least I thought I did. Well, I knew I did, but I didn't know this person had other agendas. And I believe he did care for me. Truth be told, I do believe he honestly and truly cared for me. But what I didn't know, that he had unresolved issues in his own life, that when he brought me in, it was more for entertainment. And didn't know I was a side chick, even though I was actually, at least in my assumption, I was in a relationship. And as I prayed on those things and talked to him and prayed on it more, God began to show me what it is that was really going on. And even though I confronted the gentleman about what was happening, what I was feeling and what I was thinking, and how this relationship at the time was not fulfilling everything that I wanted, he assured me at that time, Wendy, you're just assuming. We're fine. Everything is fine. I'm not married. I don't have this other side relationship. I just go see my children and then I go home. And it was something that I felt wasn't right. Needless to say, that relationship was pretty much still intact. That marriage was still intact, and I was brought in as a side chick, unbeknownst to me. And I do not believe in, extramarital affairs or anything like that. That was not how I was raised in my household. And so it really hurt me to know that I had put all of my time and energy into this relationship. And I believed that we were going to the next level, but I didn't see the signs that led me to believe that I was the other person that he was bringing into the bedroom. So I'm actually talking from the other side of it. I'm talking from the person that was actually brought into. I was the ex, I was the baggage, I was the side chick that was brought into a ready-made relationship and was not aware of it. Okay, so this is where this is coming, from me. And I want some feedback. Have any of you ever been in a situation where, you felt like, I'm not getting my all in this relationship. I feel like I'm being compared. I believe that he or she is distracted from past things, that, that they're unresolved. There's some trust issues. Heck, this person even called me another person's name on multiple occasions. I can't believe I'm still here. Excuse me, you're constantly having some concerns about what it is that's going on in your current situation, in whether your dating life, your committed life, your relationship. But I want to put something on the table that I said earlier today when I did the Epiphany Talk radio show. And on there I said was this: monogamy. Monogamous relationships, okay? Monogamy is something that you are choosing to do. If someone is being monogamous, they are choosing. It is your choice. It is your own free will to be monogamous in a relationship. No one can make you become a monogamous person. No one can make you loyal. No one can make you do anything. You have to have that choice. You have to be willing to come and walk into a relationship, walk into a new situation saying, I choose to be monogamous, or I choose to be whatever it is that you choose to do. A person cannot make you. And a lot of times we put these expectations on the other person to fill in voids or holes that the past relationship didn't fill. And then now we're stuck saying, okay, well, since he didn't do it or she didn't do it, now you have to do it. And that is really unfair. It's totally unfair. So we're going to talk about some things to be aware of when we are dealing with X issues, whether it be an actual person or things in our life. So the first thing you want to be aware of is this. One, if the person that you're with, or even if it's you, are you comparing this person to your previous relationship? Okay, that's one thing you want to, keep in mind. If your current relationship, your current significant other is saying, please stop comparing me, I'm not the last relationship, I'm not her, I'm not him, then this is what you're doing. You are actually at this point now of constantly comparing this person to your previous relationship. That's what it is that you're doing. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to compare, because what comparison does, it says this. To the person who's comparing, you are saying to the person that you are comparing, okay, I want to make sure I said that right. So the person that is doing the comparison, and the person that is being compared, okay, to another person, you're saying to that person is this: I don't value who you are. I don't honor who you are and what you've brought to the table. And rightfully so, I don't trust my decision that I've chosen you to be the right decision for me. So I'm going to constantly question my decision by questioning you, to compare you to who you are or who you're not, or who I want you to be based off of my last relationship, because I'm getting certain feelings. And feelings are driving those things. But what are feelings? They are physiological responses based off of external triggers in the environment. That's it. So if I'm feeling bad about something and it reminds me of a previous relationship, then guess what? Now you're the problem. Now you're just like that old relationship. Have I done it? Yes. So those of you that get on and try to say, oh, Wendy's being holier than thou, she's trying to say that she's perfect. I'm not. Everything that I'm about to talk to you about, I've done it on more than one occasion. And I've learned some tools to be able to help me get over that hump, and I want to be able to share that with you. So the number two thing you want to be aware of is bringing up past hurts, okay? By looking for them in the new one, okay? So if you are constantly bringing up past hurts into this new relationship, then guess what? If you're looking for them, anything that you look for, you'll find. Guess what? Yeah, you'll find it. Anything you have manifested in your mindset. Okay, now my transformational coach, is coming out here. Anything that you manifest into your mind, you will actually manifest it into real life. So you will find it. And it in whatever it is that you may find may not appear, okay, to be something that is what you think it is, but because your mind has now clouded your vision and it has painted a picture, anything that you look at is going to be, yeah, that's what it is. See, I found it. See, I knew that's what you were doing. And so now you're putting yourself in a situation where your significant other, one, probably thinks that you're crazy, and then two, you're now damaging the foundation of the relationship. Number three, the third thing that you want to be looking out for is visiting old flings or going to old environments that may trigger, past emotions. We talked about this on the radio. And actually, this is kind of a twofold. Number 3 and number 5 are kind of the same. Number 5 is keep the door open, in secret rendezvous. Okay. So this is what we don't want to be able to do. You don't want to set up secret dates or secret meetups with an ex that your partner doesn't know about. Whether if you're dating or whether you are in a marriage, you don't want to do something that your spouse is not aware of or that your loved one is not aware of. You know why? Let me tell you why. Here's the big secret. Because you don't want it to be done to you. Think about it for a moment before you jump and make that, action. Because sometimes that part in between thinking and jumping into, there's a part in there that we tend to miss. It's called thinking, okay, processing. You want to process. If I do this, will I be okay if he or she does this to me? Will you? Now that, and based off of your answer, will determine whether if you should do that. So here's the magical question. Okay, I'm a teacher by heart, transformational coach. I give you information to move you in a direction where you have, don't want to go, but you need to go, right? So I'm a transformational coach. So this is what I want you to do, is write down this magical question. When your ex is calling you to meet up, can my spouse, can my significant other come? Or are they welcome? Based off the decision and the emotional response that they're giving you will determine if this is a good thing. I'm going to drink some water because I've been talking all day. So, excuse me. As you can see, this is real life. It's not scripted. I need some water. Anywho, so you want to be able to ask that magical question. Can my significant other come to this meeting, to this gathering? And if there's a pause, like, or this sound, okay, if they're doing all that, then guess what? You shouldn't go either. This is the thing. Think about it. You should never put yourself in a situation where your spouse is not involved or cannot be allowed. Okay, if it's a secret, if it can't involve them, whether they want to come or not, then you shouldn't do it. And I'm being so hardly on this. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be an individual in your relationship and do your own thing, and that's fine. But remember this: single-mindedness cannot be in a union. Okay, you can't act like a single person in a committed monogamous relationship, because those two different things, respond differently to environments. So this is what you want to be able to do, is ask that magical question. And if the person says no, then you shouldn't go. You shouldn't be able to put yourself in situations where your spouse or your significant other would not be allowed to go, and that will make them comfortable. Okay, that's just simple in what it is. We tend to try to sugarcoat things and try to put a spin on it just so that you can feel better about making the decision. You got to be firm, and you got to have boundaries, clear-cut boundaries on what you will allow and what you don't allow, okay? So that you can be able to be open and honest with the person that you're with, okay? So you know, and where you stand, you are well with who you are. And number 4, because we already talked about 3 and 5, because I'm only going to do 5. Number 4, that in between, we want to talk about, keep calling your spouse by your old past boo. Okay, first of all, I'm surprised you're in a relationship if that keeps happening. But I know sometimes you get in a rush and you're trying to name stuff and you're like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, does that mean you're always thinking about that person? Maybe, maybe not. Could have been a slip. I don't know. You know how back in the day where you probably could have been at your grandmother's house, your mama's house, or your auntie. I'm number 11 of 11 children. So I know there was a whole lot of names my mama had to remember. But I was the baby. I came much later, right? So I remember being in a house. Let me tell you all this. It's already bad enough there's 2 Wendy's in this household. Yes, I'm the last born. My sister, Big Wendy, the firstborn of them all, right? She's Big Wendy. She's, so there's 2 Wendy's, right? So if we were both in the house and my mother said, Wendy, we both said, huh? What'd you say? Mama, did you call me? And she'd have to sit up there and say, okay, no, the big one. No, the little one. Or whatever. So she ended up changing my name, so I was known as Little Lady. I wasn't called my own name until I got out of my own house and I started hanging out with my own friends. So, but anywho, so Little Wendy, not Big Wendy, sometimes, we're getting in a whole lot of trouble. So, but that's sometimes that would happen. And so we have to wonder, are you thinking about your ex? Did you just see your ex? Did that ex just call? Now you got your significant other rolling through their mind all of these possibilities that could be the reason why you slipped and called them your ex name. Please don't even do that, while we're being intimate in the bedroom. Please. Okay? Because not only that will just be a buzzkill, okay, but that can cause all kind of problems, and definitely be the end of the relationship. So you don't want to be able to do that. So looking at some of those 5 important things to be aware of, what are the few things that you can do to be able to harness those old emotions, close those doors, okay, and be able to move on into a better relationship? Okay, so the first thing you want to do is this, and this is a big one for many people, social media, right? Social media brings us together. Social media allows us to be able to pull our whole life on the line, and millions upon billions of people can, give us their opinion about how we should act, right? And then we take those opinions to heart, and then we believe that's how we should act based off of what other people think. But when you put your relationship on social media, this is what you have done. You have invited old and potential temptations or problems to come into your relationship and really influence it, okay? Because now there's ways for people to have a relationship outside, an affair outside of their current relationship through social media. Because how do most affairs start? Through talking, through emotion, through images. What we perceive in our mind is what it is that we're going to do half the time. So you want to be able to cut all social media contacts with ex issues, ex relationships that could be providing you a lot of problems and drama into your new relationship. If your ex doesn't respect the boundaries of your relationship, always giving you a way out, cut it. If there's subliminal messages, cut it. Cute little heartsy DM messages, cut it. Because this is what it says to the person that you're with, okay? This is what it says to them if you don't do it. I don't value this relationship. I still have old feelings from my ex. I don't want to give up my past. You're not worthy enough to just be with only you. You're not worthy enough. Okay? Because I don't see anything positive when you tell your significant other, I'm not going to cut out my ties with my exes. I'm going to keep them all, and there's nothing you can do with it. Then why be in a relationship? You know, a relationship is a choice. You choose to be committed. And then I say earlier, monogamy is a choice. Monogamy is a choice. So if you just can't let those things go, listen, don't get into a relationship or just bail out now, because you may not be ready to really choose monogamy, or you just haven't met the person that gives you the level of foundation that you need to say, you know what, I don't need to keep this, on the shelf in the back and, break in case of emergency type situation. You want to cut all that old baggage. If you got emotional old baggage and issues, you want to seek counseling. Okay, those are two things. Cut the baggage and seek counseling. You want to, be able to do that. I'm going to take some more water. Okay, so you want to be able to do those kinds of things. You want to be able to talk to someone about resolving, releasing those issues that you may have in your past that could be impeding on not only this relationship, but any future relationships. Looking down at my notes. Big one. Please stop your friends and your family members, constantly telling you about what your ex is doing now, giving you updates. Channel 5 News don't live there. They need to cut it. Cut the cable cord. Say, look, that was my past. I don't need to hear about what he or she is doing. I don't need to know about the old relationship. I don't need to know that they've broken up with this person and what they're doing and how much money they're making and what kind of new car that they're driving. They are an ex for a reason. Okay? So keep them there. Keep them there as an ex. All right? Okay? So tell your friends and your family, I don't want to hear about it. And if they keep bringing it up, then maybe you're going to need to take a break from them for a little bit until they realize, hey, she really has moved on, or he really is over this old relationship. Okay, so we don't want to do that. And my other thing is number 4, you want to let your spouse know if your ex has been trying to contact you. Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. And I'm not saying, hey, set up a fight, a shootout. I'm not saying that. But they need to know, you need to be able to open that door of communication and increase that trust, that your significant other will say, you know what, at least I know he or she'll tell me, even when it doesn't feel good, my current loved one will at least let me know what's going on. You want to build that trust. Yeah, they're not going to want to know every single phone call, because my God, at some point you got to cut the phone calls too. But you want to let them know, hey, I'm feeling comfortable. My ex keeps calling me and trying to slide back in. I just want to let you know, hey, I've resolved it. It's over. I've deleted this person. So then you're not putting your frustrations out in a relationship. But if you don't cut that communication, if you don't stop the phone calls, if you don't stop the rendezvous, guess what you're saying? I'm not done over here, and I may need to just go back over there. Okay? So we want to make sure we don't do something like that. And lastly, get couples counseling. Yes, I'm promoting it. Get couples counseling. One of my business partner, Keandra Jackson, made an amazing statement through one of her podcast shows, and she stated this. She said, would you rather pay $15,000 to $20,000 for a divorce, or a few $100s to make sure that your relationship is strong, healthy, and resolved, or at least you end peacefully? Because you're giving a lawyer $15,000, $20,000 just to sign, do the divorce and do all the fighting, and you won't even pay a therapist to help you guys resolve it. People want these quick, internet click, Facebook time type of counseling sessions, and give them a magic pill, pop, and everything will be great. That's not necessarily so. You got to be able to put in the time. Your relationship needs a tune-up every few months. Your relationship, your marriage needs, some maintenance, some few new parts, because the old parts are dying. You may need to spice it up a little bit with some few more new parts for that person to say, okay, I'm recharged. I'm a new person. We're a new person in this relationship. Let's go ahead. Then we got another 50 years, So you got to maintain, like you maintain the upkeep of your vehicle. Do the maintenance for your relationship, and that's what keep it going and thriving. And counseling, whether if it's with a therapist like myself, okay, whether if it's with a pastor or another healthy couple that is diligent and intentional about you guys doing well together, but make sure you do something. So that's me. That's all I have. I just wanted to be able to share those things that I talked about on Epiphany Talk Radio Show this morning. I hope she has me on for part two because we were getting more and more into it and people were chiming in. Please put your comments on the bottom, good, bad, or indifferent. I would love to hear from you. If you have some more ideas or tips, you have any questions, hit me up. You can find me on Facebook at Wendy Talley, LCSW. You can also find my page, Thelese Consulting Group, THELESE, here on YouTube and also on Facebook. Black Speakers Rock is a movement. To all of my authors, my speakers, my writers, my coaches, you are amazing and you rock. Make sure you go to the website blackspeakersrock.com and order your t-shirt. I'm on Instagram as well, Thelese Consulting Group, and on there as Wendy Talley, LCSW. Take care. I hope you all have an amazing Saturday. This was absolutely amazing. I hope you got some really good tools and tips from what I talked about. And if you want to hear from me on other topics, hey, tell me. I would love to talk about those things and give you guys some really, really good advice. Without being said, thank you again. Have an amazing Saturday. Bye.